All right, guys, what's up? It's Shonen Games here, back at it again with Dom. We're going back to the tier list, and now that we have new characters, we got to add new characters to the tier list. And there's been some changes since then, so I'll let Dom start off.
Yeah, so alongside the new characters, I think the game also has gotten changed. I think a lot of people have noticed that the impact on combo hits seem to be more consistent and they're just louder. They have more of an animation, more impact in general is present within the game. Me and Akrill kind of came to the conclusion that it came as a result of the 60 FPS becoming more polished, similar to Storm 4, where they kind of doubled the values on everything to match 60 FPS values. But the inherent issue with that is that the game generally tends to become more glitchy. So as a result, the gameplay that we've gotten seems to be more glitchy. There's been a lot more bugs. I think Shonen has self-reported this as well, alongside Globku, so he can give his opinion on that as well, if you want to, real quick.
Yeah, so I find the evil build, and I guess the build before this Gamescom one is just a lot more stable than the current one. Like I find that like when you miss when you're fighting like in sky and you miss your like rush attack, the camera just like almost guarantees just goes crazy like from top to bottom, and you just gotta like sit there and block and wait for it to like come back down.
Yeah, and that kind of changes. That can actually change the meta a lot, just because of the fact that the camera glitch seems to be happening so often. If that's the build that we're going to be getting, the competitive players are going to have to adapt to the fact that the camera is going to do a 360 on them, and that kind of prevents you from doing much more than blocking because you don't really know what the opponent's going to do. But other than that, I think I've also noticed some more glitches in terms of clunkiness. The combos seem to whiff more often, which was already a thing that was present in the other builds, the previous builds, but it tends to happen more often now from the gameplay that I've witnessed. And alongside that, we've gotten some important information regarding interactions that I took note of that I've seen in Globku. Shout out to him and some of Shonen's gameplay as well. So we now know that Explosive Wave beats Revenge Counter, which kind of makes characters with Explosive Wave even more overpowered because let's say you're on the offense and you both have two blast stocks, or I guess they're called skills gauges now, or skill gauge or whatever. If you both have two, and the opponent uses a revenge counter to get out of the combo, then you can immediately just react to that with an explosive wave and you beat their revenge counter straight up. Alongside that, we know that Z counter also now beats revenge counter. Grand strike beats revenge counter, which is the down triangle hook attack. Step in beats revenge counter, which we knew before, but we've seen more instances of it occurring now, so it seems to be pretty consistent. After image, I believe, is confirmed to work now while in hit stun, so the same thing as Tenkai G3. Vanishing Assault beats Rush Supers. So the input where I think it's down circle on the old controls, where you do a vanish and it does an attack afterwards. But I believe the attack afterwards is optional, meaning that you no longer have to really time your defensive vanish to beat out the Rush Super. You can just Vanishing Assault them, which makes characters with Rush Supers less high of a priority, considering you can kind of just get out of them. Also, we found out that Vanishing Assault beats Z counters, which is kind of crazy considering Z counter used to be a rewarding one frame move, but now you can just Vanishing Assault out of it, which is kind of insane. And we also found out that Rolling Hammer, the triangle hook that spins them, is not a true combo starter, as in if you do a Rolling Hammer while you're hitting them and then you try to do a new combo, they can just block or sidestep out. There's clips of this. I don't know if you really want. Do you want me to show these, Shonen?
Yeah,
Or
yeah, you show
okay,
them
okay.
if you have them.
Yeah, I have a lot of these on hand. So let me pull up my stuff here. Here we go. Here's Vanishing Assault beating Rush Super. So as you can see, Cell's key went down, meaning it wasn't a defensive vanish. He vanished away. We have Vanishing Assault beating a Z counter here. So Shonen does a Z counter with Videl here, if you watch closely. That's the Z counter animation. And then Cell just Vanishing Assaults and beats him. So you just use some key and then suddenly you're winning the interaction. Cool. And we also have Z counter beating revenge counter here. So you see the CPU use their revenge counter. Watch the blast box goes down to 0. And then Shonen Z counters it, and he ends up winning the interaction. Rolling hammer into rush attack is also no longer true. As you can see, the CPU sidestepped away after Shonen did a rolling hammer into a rush attack, which means the CPU now gets to punish. All right, so yeah, that's that for that. And now we're on to the tier list, I guess. So regarding the tier list, a lot of things have changed in terms of what I prioritize. A lot of weirder characters are in a lot of weird spots because just how I'm viewing the game as it's progressing, it seems to be more and more. The meta seems to be more falling along the lines of being a hyper aggressive attempt to get back shots and trying to hit their back. That's the only way you're going to get a lot of damage. Maintaining key advantage is going to be extremely important, so you can do stuff like vanishing assault out of certain interactions, being able to drag and dash constantly and putting pressure on opponents so they can't use their blast ones like sleep or max power mode. Constant key charging while approaching, so doing a drag and dash, trying to get them to make a move, and then you charge key. Let's say they do a super, you dodge the super, and then you try to punish it, etc., etc. A lot of poking. Wasting key is going to be really, really, really bad for you. And I think that combos from the front are going to be generally useless. It's mostly going to be mix-ups. I think after you do 5 hits, there's not much that you can really do. A lot of people are talking about the switch-in hit, the switch-in combo confirm that you can do. But I'm like 80% sure that this is not a true combo because the animation that occurs after you switch in your character from normal hits is the same as a step-in attack, the down smash step-in attack. And that isn't a true combo. We've seen footage that the step-in attack into rush attack sequence is not a true combo. So to make that easier to visualize, it's basically when you do square 5 times and then you press X and you press square. If you're on PSN controls, it's the same thing on Xbox, just just extrapolated to Xbox controls, whatever your attack button is, and then doing a step in afterwards and then continuing the combo. That's not a true combo. So essentially, your only combo routes after doing your 5 hits are to you essentially have to read the opponent, because after that they are minus in terms of frames, I'm assuming, but they can block, they can sidestep, they can do a lot of other things to beat just, step in into combo again. Because, for example, if you do 5 hits into step in attack into attack, I can just do a sonic sway, I can do a perception, I could sidestep, etc., etc. There's a lot of options for me available there. So, you're going to have to mix it up. After you do the step in attack, maybe you can go for a grab if you read that I'm going to block and try to sonic sway. After you do a step-in attack, maybe you can do some key blast to try to hit the startup of my sidestep, etc., etc. A lot of possible options there. But from the front, I don't think it's going to be very beneficial to try just continuously comboing the opponent. You're going to have to make some reads. With all that in mind, we have come to some new prioritizations for the tier list. I have them written down here in order. The highest priority thing that I have is armor. So armor, I don't mean false courage, which I also think might be broken, but we will know more as the game comes out. I think that armor I think characters that innately have armor are at an inherent advantage, and the only character in the game thus far that does, besides Great Apes, is legendary Super Saiyan Broly. And therefore, he is, well, as you've seen, if you've seen the last tier list, you know where he is. After that, we have Explosive Wave / After Images. So something interesting to note that I didn't mention in the last video that me and Shonen made was that Explosive Waves actually cost 2 Blastock / skill gauges now, which means they've been effectively nerfed since Tenkaichi 3. And After Images still cost 2. After Images were actually better in Tenkaichi 3 because they were usable in hit stun and you'd be able to get a combo starter afterwards instead of just blowing them back. So they both now cost 2, meaning that After Image is practically just better now because it was already better, and now Explosive Wave got nerfed, and therefore, it's natural for After Image to be the superior answer. However, Explosive Wave does have some unique use cases that After Image thus far does not, in terms of the revenge counter situation, where you can Explosive Wave while getting hit by the revenge counter. I'm not sure if you can do that with After Image. If you can, then After Image will be strictly better than Explosive Wave in every way. The tier list does assume that that is the case, though, because based on the information that we do have, it is usable in hit stun, and it would make logical sense to assume that that is the case. After that, we have HP bars as a relevant priority. Then we have strength in terms of cannon strength. So the devs like to make the game, the damage numbers in the game be relevant to cannon strength. So for example, Goku mid's Kamehameha, 20 times Kamehameha, the 7320 damage unboosted in Tenkaichi 3. And in Goku early, he only does 7080 with his base Kamehameha. Tends to be the case for a lot of Tenkaichi games in terms of Tenkaichi 2 as well. I think it's the case in this game as well from the damage I've seen with, for example, Super Saiyan 3 Goku's Kamehameha versus, his base form. And also his damage numbers on his combo hits are greater as well. After that, I have stun. So moves that cause stun, like blast ones that cause stun, such as Kaiko-sen and Solar Flare, etc., etc. They all have the same principle. They're somewhat different in animation and they do somewhat different things, but the principle is the same. You get a little stun animation that you can win your neutral interaction, and you get a grab after or a combo, etc. After Image Strike, after that, the reason After Image Strike isn't higher, despite it being really good, is that it costs 3 Blast Stocks, which would make it effectively harder to get. Something interesting to note that I forgot to mention as well is that you gain a Blast Stock after losing 1 HP bar, which I think was taken from Fighter Z. And also you gain them from Deflecting Key Blast, which is a relic from the older games. Kaioken I have after that. I think Kaioken is the best buff, quote-unquote, move, similar to Finish Side, etc., because funnily enough, Kaioken did get buffed. It no longer makes it so you can't charge ki, and you still get the positive physical and defensive and ki buffs that you get from using the move in general. And then you have Sleep, which also got buffed. You rest for approximately 2 to 3 seconds now and gain HP, which is insanely good.
Yep.
Max Power mode after that, which I've actually lowered on the priority list because after thinking about it a bit, I think you will be able to have enough pressure to prevent people from going into max power mode despite them using it. Although I do think there will be situations where they will be able to get it guaranteed. Despite there's this counterplay, which means it's a little bit lower than the stuff that you can use in neutral. Lastly, we have Transforming to gain HP, which we know that Cell and Boo have when they absorb people. And completely lastly after that, I have stuff like Android perks. So being an Android has an inherent advantage because you can absorb Ki Blasts, and also when, for example, Dr. Giro grabs, he gains HP. So yeah, Androids also have a slight disadvantage in the sense that they can't charge Ki, but they also regenerate Ki at a faster rate. So when they're in combat, they're going to be gaining Ki at a faster rate. All right, that should be everything. And now we have the tier list. So I will be running through this relatively quickly because a lot of these have been explained before in terms of what they have and what they don't have, but their placements are potentially wildly different. So first I have Goku Early, which on the tier list, I believe I had him in solid tier. All right, reasoning being, Goku Early has a stun move, which I described earlier as being something like a Solar Flare or a Kaiko-sen. And he also has Kaioken. He also has Spirit Bomb. He basically has an extremely well-rounded kit. He just has everything that you need in a character. All of his Blast 1s are good. His Blast 2s are good. Although, something to note before I go into the other characters, Blast 2s are practically irrelevant from what I've seen so far, besides very specific few, which are like Krillin. I think he has a decent Blast 2, but the other ones are all very avoidable. The use case is very limited. Vanishing seems to be easier. And like I said with Rush Supers, you can Vanishing Assault out of them. So Blast 1s are going to be the main topic of discussion regarding every character. So yeah, he's solid. Yeah. That's pretty much all there is to say. As for Goku Mid, same as the last tier list. He's mid. I don't see much, I really don't see what he has. Maybe you can get some cheese with his ultimate because it's pretty fast, unblockable, high damage move, and maybe you can just cheese your opponent if they're very new, or maybe if the game meta ends up developing to be relatively slow, you can spam his Blast 1 that allows you to gain more damage on the Spirit Bomb. Other than that, I don't really think he has anything in terms of the neutral game, so that's why he's in mid tier. After that, we have, I believe this is Goku Mid Super Saiyan 1, and he's above Goku Mid base. He does more damage naturally, being a Super Saiyan, and he just has more damage. I mean, his Blast 1s are relatively lacking. I mean, his IT and whatever else, Wild Sense, I think, but IT being instant transmission, I mean, he just does more damage than Goku Mid. That's pretty much it. They're both mid, you know. It's characters that you can use, but they're not really something that you'd prioritize in picking if you want to gain ranks or, you know, beat someone in a first 10 or whatever. After that, I believe I had Goku Late, which
Same
I actually
tier.
had. Yeah, I had him in the same tier as Goku Mid because, again, he doesn't really offer anything. He actually is, in my opinion, lower than Goku Mid because he doesn't have that Spirit Bomb cheese. The Spirit Bomb is slightly worse from the gameplay that we've seen of Goku Early and Goku Late, and he doesn't have the Blast 1 to buff the Spirit Bomb either. And also in Tenkaichi 3, Goku Mid's Kamehameha did more damage than Goku Late's. I think Goku Early or Goku Late's damage numbers in terms of his hits were slightly higher, but I don't know if they were really going to be that relevant. They're both relatively interchangeable, so yeah. After that, I had Goku End Super Saiyan 1, I believe this is.
I think so. Yeah,
Let me make
that.
sure here. Goku End Super Saiyan 1. Yeah, this is
Yeah.
Goku End Super Saiyan 1. And I had him above Goku Mid, but below Goku
Yep.
Mid Super Saiyan 1. So Goku Mid Super Saiyan 1 actually has higher damage than Goku Late Super Saiyan 1. Other than that, practically no differences again. Just one of those things again. Let me pull up the Super Combo page here. So yeah, Super Kamehameha 7440. And then Goku Mid Super Saiyan 1's is 7800. I think oh no. I think it's the flying kick heavy finish advantage that Goku Super Saiyan 1 End had over him. Yeah, flying heavy kick, rolling hammer, ki cannon instead. I mean, honestly, I could see Goku mid or Goku late Super Saiyan 1 being higher. Like, it would make logical sense that this was the case, right?
Yeah.
Goku late Super Saiyan 1 being higher, but honestly, we don't know the damage numbers yet between them, so it's kind of hard to say if they've been copy pasted from Tenkaichi 3. But in general, Goku Super Saiyan 1 mid was stronger than Goku Super Saiyan 1 late in Tenkaichi 3, so that's the logic that I'm going to use for it. Their blast ones are both pretty bad, so I mean, it's not really anything to speak about. Wild Sense. I mean, Goku Super Saiyan 1 mid does have a max power mode, which is nice, but other than that, it's not really anything to cry home about. But yeah, let's see here. After that, we had this is Goku Super Saiyan 2 End, I believe. I think I had him in Viable.
Yeah, you did.
So the reasoning being, I think he has a max power mode and he has higher damage number than Goku Super Saiyan 1 mid. In terms of his Kamehameha, it's 7800. He has a full power mode, max power mode. It's the same thing in the other game. You guys can go check if you want. I can offer proof for this one just to get rid of any doubts. Let me go to Goku Super Saiyan 1 End. Hold on 1 second. Super Saiyan 3. Super Saiyan 1 End. Super Saiyan 2 End. That's what I meant. Full power, same thing. Max power mode. I'm honestly kind of down to do this. I think this is like plausible. They both have a max power mode, so I'll just leave it like that for now.
Okay.
These guys don't have a max power mode, so they actually have nothing to go on. Goku mid has that one cheese move, but I'd rather have the raw damage of Goku Super Saiyan 1 late than
Sure.
the potential cheese spirit bomb. After that, I have Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Once again, I think he's in viable tier. Right at the top, higher than Super Saiyan 2. Naturally does more damage. Also has a max power mode. Blast 1. He is not quite solid, in my opinion, based on the criteria that I'm using for this tier list, because he doesn't have a stun move or anything, or explosive wave after image, etc. Just has that max power mode. He has pretty good combo strings from what we've seen, etc., etc. Viable character. He's strong, but not strong to be, strong tier. After that, we had Goku base from Super. I think I had him below Super Saiyan 1 End, right around here somewhere. That should be right. The reasoning being, I think he's going to end up doing more damage than the Z Gokus. But generally speaking, in Tenkaichi games, the Super Saiyan versions of older iterations of a character still tend to do more than the base forms of newer iterations. I don't know if this is going to apply to Super. Maybe he'll be here. But from what we know and what the game has given us, and thus far knowing from what they've done in different Tenkaichi games, this is the conclusion that I would come to. Other than that, his blast ones are nothing to cry home about. Again, they're just relatively basic, and therefore he's just mid. After that, we had Goku Super Saiyan 1, which is stronger than Goku Base Super because he has a max power mode. So I had him in viable. I don't know where exactly I had him in viable though. I think I had him below.
You
I
had him
had him right
next
around here.
to no.
Did I have him to the right of this?
Yeah, I like that.
I think it could actually go like this because it just depends once again if they make the Super Saiyan 2 End stronger than the Super Saiyan 1 of Super. But I'll just be biased towards Super for now and keep him there. He does have a max power mode, but we don't know if once again the Super Saiyan 3 scaling. We don't know how exactly they're going to go about making these characters work. But I'll just be biased here and assume that once again Super characters are stronger than Z characters despite their transformations, and I'll put him above Super Saiyan 3 Goku for now. Okay, now we have Goku Red. I think he's going to be our highest placement for now. I had him slightly lower than where he was originally. he is actually below Goku early, in my opinion. Reasoning being quite simple. I think Goku Red's obviously going to do a lot more damage than Goku Base early. However, Goku early does have Kaioken alongside Solar Flare. So despite him having the inability to, how do I explain this? The raw damage that comes from being a super character, he compensates for it with the Kaioken. But I do think that Shenron Aura could make this be a reality. I don't know. What do you think of this, Shonen? Do you think the Shenron Aura is enough to... like, if I'm being biased towards super characters, I might just put him above Goku early.
I would think so, yeah.
To make the people a little bit happier as well. But once again, it's all of these guys are so interchangeable because their differences are very minute. The minute differences will end up mattering in a real game, but again, it's something that's incalculable. We don't have the numbers yet to determine whether or not the super characters are doing a lot more damage. But sure, we'll keep him up here for now, just in the sense that he does have that stun, and Shenron Aura is also a buff. Might not be as good as Kaioken, but he is a super character, so he's going to do more damage. As for Blue Goku, I had him, I think, near the top of viable. Reasoning being he doesn't have a stun. Stun move being the Blast 1 moves that I've described earlier, like Solar Flare or Godbind, etc. Those also have armor on them now, by the way, which I think I talked about in the other video.
Yeah.
But, yeah, Goku Blue does have a max power mode. Well, no, he doesn't have a max power mode. He has Kaioken, which is not quite as good as a max power mode, but I think he compensates for it once again by being a super character, so he's going to do an increased amount of damage. And he's just gonna have high damage numbers. That's pretty much the gimmick of the character. All right, I think that's all for the Gokus. After that, we have Vegeta Scouter, which is going to be our new highest placement. I had him an excellent tier. He was around this tier in the other tier list video as well. He has Explosive Wave, and I don't remember what his other Blast 1 is, but I don't think it's that relevant. It's Sand Soul, which is whatever, but he does have Explosive Wave, which automatically bumps him up here. Like I talked about at the beginning, it's just a move that you want to have on your character. It allows you to get out of moves. It's better than a revenge counter in every possible way. And it just makes it so that you can combat the opponent without having to deal with a lot of the other stuff that these other characters would. For example, if you're hitting Goku Red and he has 6 Blastocks, he's going to have to use revenge counter, which, if it's Vegeta Scouter fighting him, he can just Explosive Wave and then win the interaction. Or, alternatively, he can Z-counter it, and then he wins the interaction. Or, alternatively, he can sidestep it, and then he wins the interaction. You get what I'm saying? With Explosive Wave, you have to actually bait it out, like, completely. You'd have to backstep it or vanish it, which are way harder to do than the other stuff that I've just listed. So, automatic advantage there. Vegeta Scouter is a very strong character. He has good combo strings as well. Just solid. Great Ape Vegeta, not much to say here. Same as the other video. He has the inherent disadvantage of being an ape. Not much to say there. In terms of Vegeta base, do they call it this? They just call this Vegeta, right? They don't say mid or early, I think, right?
I don't know. You got to look on the website. Or
let me see what the video says. Vegeta Z early. Okay, cool.
Okay, early.
So I had him above Vegeta Scouter. It's gonna do more damage. He's higher in the progression in the canon. 1 second. He's higher in the progression in the canon tier list, so naturally he's going to do more damage. That's how the developers tend to make their games. Not only that, I believe he has a max power mode in this form. Make sure. Yeah, full power. Same, I've checked this in the other video, so yeah, it's full power right there. He has Super Explosive Wave, which might end up being OP as well if you can use that out of block stun, like you could in the other games. So yeah, solid character, better than Vegeta Scouter. Same reasons as the other video, not much to say there. Super Saiyan 1 Vegeta, though. I think I had him lower than base Vegeta mid because he doesn't have the max power mode. That's literally it. He does probably slightly more damage than Vegeta, but the max power mode would edge out the base form, in my opinion. The Blast 1, the ability to go into max power mode, is an inherent advantage that I would not look down upon. Super Vegeta, like I talked about in the other video, has been increasingly buffed in this game. He no longer hits like a slug and can actually punch people. So, just a really strong character in that way. I think he's going to be really solid. He has the max power mode, Explosive Wave. Going to do more damage than this Vegeta, so naturally he scales higher. Okay, so now Vegeta late. Z. This guy is powerful. Very simple reasoning. After image is broken. I already talked about why at the start of the video. It's just a better Explosive Wave now, pretty much. Again, based on the knowledge that we have. And just knowing that, it's enough to put him in powerful tier. I think anyone that has an after image, just be ready to see them in powerful tier or higher. So by that nature alone, he's just inherently powerful. He's also end of Z character, so he's going to do a lot of damage. After that, I think it's Super Saiyan 1 End Vegeta, which I had right above Super Saiyan 1 Mid Vegeta, or Early Vegeta, I think they call it. And the reasoning being he has Explosive Wave, but I don't think he has a max power mode, which would put him right below Goku or Vegeta Early Base. Just to confirm here, Vegeta Super Saiyan 1. He has Sand Soul, but he does have Explosive Wave, which makes him pretty solid. But yeah, I do think that is Vegeta. Yeah, that is Vegeta Super Saiyan 1. Okay, and then Super Saiyan 2, higher than Super Saiyan 1, but not quite as high as Vegeta Early, because he doesn't have max power mode, but still higher than Super Saiyan 1, just by having more damage. And I think his hooks are better too, his triangle hooks. Majin Vegeta, he's actually kind of lacking. He's right around here. He is in the same position in terms of relative proximity to Super Saiyan 3 Goku. It's the last video, because he's kind of he only has max power mode, pretty much. That's his only niche. He does seem a little bit stronger in terms of his combo strings now. He does seem like his hits are more consistent in terms of that, similar to Super Saiyan 3 Goku and Super Vegeta. But other than that, I can't really give him anything else. He is weaker than Super Saiyan 3 Goku in terms of damage output. And other than that, he's stronger than these other two, Super Saiyan 2 Goku and Super Saiyan 1 Goku Mid. It's not quite as strong as Super Saiyan 3 in terms of damage output. That's the only thing differentiating them, because they all have max power mode. So, okay, after that we have Vegeta Scouter, Super, which I had above Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta, because he's a super character. Same concept and bias as I had recently for the other Gokus.
They used to Scouter by accident. Is that
And not Scouter, yeah. Vegeta Super, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I got the two conflicted. But yeah, he's a super character. He's stronger than the other Explosive Wave only characters, but weaker than the Explosive Wave plus MPM characters, MPM being max power mode. Now, for Vegeta Super, Super Saiyan 1 Super, I had him, I think, right below Goku Super Saiyan 1 Super. I don't recall. I think I had. Okay. Yeah, I need to figure out if I think I had Vegeta. This was conflicting. I didn't know if Vegeta Super Saiyan 1 from Super had max power mode. I think he does. I'll get you for this, I believe, is a max power mode. So he's in the same vein as Super Saiyan 1 Super Goku. He's a super character, so he outscales his Z characters, and he has a max power mode. Simple logic once again, not much to say there. Vegeta Red. He has an explosive wave, and he's stronger than his base form. It's really that simple. Does not have a max power mode. Again, I'm not going to spend too much time on these characters because we've already talked about them in the other videos in terms of their specifics and their niches. If you want to go check out the other video in terms of more details, then go see that. But other than that, not much to say here. He has an explosive wave, but no max power mode. So he's not quite the same level as Vegeta Early Base or Super Vegeta. Vegeta Blue, I had right below Goku Blue. In general, Goku tends to have higher damage output than Vegeta in the games. Other than that, they don't have much differentiating them here. Goku has the Kaioken, which it can be argued whether or not it's better than the max power mode, like I talked about with Goku Blue versus Super Saiyan 3 Goku or Super Saiyan 1, whether or not the max power mode would not prioritize. But Kaioken is a similar buff. I mean, you get the damage and the defense buff, and the Kai damage buff or Ki attack damage buffs, as in like blast supers, etc. But Vegeta just does less damage. He does have the max power mode, and I would put him, just right below Goku Blue. Viable. Seems kind of crazy to think about, considering he's one of the newer characters. He's blue, etc. He should be strong based on canon, but at a competitive level, we'll see whether or not that ends up mattering as much as having stuff like a stun, explosive wave afterimage, etc. All right. After that, we had Piccolo. So from here on, I think a lot of these characters are going to be relatively similar to where they were placed before. It's just going to be all the characters that had a stun, and pretty much that's it. It's the only thing that puts them above viable tier is that they have that stun that allows them to win the neutral interactions. I had him below Goku Early, I believe. Yep. And reasoning being pretty simple. He doesn't have the Kaioken, or he doesn't have the buff plus stun. He just has that stun. Other than that, he doesn't really have anything. I think he might have a max power mode. Actually, I'm not. He does have max power mode, yeah, but he's still inherently weaker than Goku Early and Goku Red, just by nature of being a weaker character, and he does less damage. Krillin, I think he is unique in the sense that he has the only Blast 2. The expanding energy wave, they changed it. Well, they changed it in terms of the hit properties and whatnot. It's still the same move inherently, intrinsically, but now it seems to track better. I don't know if you can deflect it. One interesting to note that I didn't talk about, the Blast 2 Blast Supers that launch a flurry of Ki Blasts are deflectable now. I've seen footage of this happen with Vegeta. The CPU was deflecting the super, which you couldn't do before. If you tried deflecting the super, you would just get hit. But that kind of nerfs them too. Another reason, Blast 2's got nerfed. But he does Solar Flare and After Image Strike. After Image Strike is good. Solar Flare is good. Solid character. I'd put him above Piccolo, even though Piccolo has that max power mode, just because he has that After Image Strike. After that, we have Yamcha. All right, this is going to be... I don't know if people are going to like this one. This guy is broken. I talked about it in the last video, but once again, it's even more bolstered by the fact that After Image, I think, is even more OP than I thought originally. I already thought it could be OP, but now that I've seen more footage, it seems really good. After Image Strike as well, but After Image even more so. I don't know whether or not it's going to matter as much in a real game, but this, conceptually speaking, it just seems crazy having both After Image and he has a max power mode, which he has over this Vegeta here. His supers, Blast 2s also look pretty solid. His combos are solid. He doesn't really have anything to lose. He just has everything. He has everything. Like, I don't know where my tier list is from.
Hey, okay, Yamcha Redemption Arc.
No, literally though, because I think he's actually I'm gonna end up using him. But yeah, I mean, I just think he's good. Like I said, After Image alone brings you to this tier, in my opinion, and he also has max power mode, so good to have. After that, we have Tien. Tien, I think, has the best charge Ki Blast we've seen in the game so far. I think charge Ki Blasts have not been utilized as much as a lot of people showcasing the footage should have. I think should have been using it more, but c'est la vie. I do think he is solid in terms of his placement as well as his character design. He is, I think I had him above Krillin, actually.
Above Krillin.
Yeah, because of his charge Ki Blast. I think the Solar Flare plus charge Ki Blast combo is going to be really solid. It tracks really well. I think it does some stun. Wild Sense is kind of trash, but solid character. The charge Ki Blast, I think, is better than the ability to use Krillin's Blast too. And he has the stun, of course, which is the Solar Flare, which will put him above the viable characters. For that, we have the Drink. I had him at the top of this, I believe, right around there. Yeah, I had him stronger than Super Vegeta because he's a super character. Simply speaking, once again, they get an extra bias because of that extra damage buff that you get from being a super character. That seems to be the case within the footage. I don't think other than that, he's just explosive wave and max power mode character. Not much to say there. His combos whiffing have been something that I've spoken about in the other video, but we'll see if that's going to be present in the last build, the build that we get. If it is, then he's going to be lower, obviously, but I don't know if that's going to be the case, so I can't really make any assumptions. But regardless, we have Frieza next. I think I had Frieza somewhere. I think I had the bottom of solid, probably.
Yeah, bottom of solid.
Yeah, he's definitely bottom of solid. He's an interesting character. His combos have that whiffing property too. Let me pull up his super combo page here. Yeah, Psychokinesis. He does have a max power mode again, like the other characters, like Piccolo. I think he could be here over Piccolo. The combos whiffing is the only problematic thing, but I honestly I could keep him there. I think that's fine. Right above Piccolo is fine. He does have the max power mode, and he's probably going to do more damage than Piccolo. Let's see, we're 6,400. Special beam cannon is pretty good, but 6820. I don't know. It's hard to say. I think I'm not sure if they consider Frieza a super character. Is the interesting thing to consider. Let me see if they do. If they do, then let me see what they call him. Frieza super, yeah.
Oh.
So I would probably consider him above Piccolo. Not higher than these though, just because of their unique properties. Be it Blast 2, Charge Ki Blast, Kaioken, and Super plus Shenron Or. All right. Other than that, I don't know. I think he's pretty good. He's okay. Majin Buu, I had
in between
Piccolo, right?
Yeah.
I think he has Psychokinesis as well. I could see him being below Piccolo because he doesn't have a max power mode, but he does have the ability to. What is it? His grab is pretty good. I'm pretty sure is what I was thinking of. Yeah, Sleep. Sleep is really good. I actually think Sleep might be better than max power mode. Don't know if this would qualify him to put him here, but again, Frieza being a super character. Let me see if Majin Buu once again is considered a super character. If he is, I'll put him above Frieza. Otherwise, I don't really. Yeah, I think he's considered the Z version. I don't know if he doesn't really get a buff in Super in the anime or manga, so keep him there. I think it's solid. Hercule. Okay, that's Hercule. Android 17. It's my favorite character in the show and the manga and the games. Really good character. He's an android. I originally had him like a tier above because he's an android, which is pretty much the buff that he gets over the other characters I talked about at the beginning of the video. Increased key regen time, or increased key regen speed, I should say. Ability to absorb key blasts, etc. And his android barrier was better in T3 too than the explosive wave, which might be the same in this game. I'm not entirely sure yet. We haven't seen a good game footage yet, so I don't know if I can make that assertion yet. But solid character. His blast 2 seemed decent as well. But yeah, explosive wave NPM. Same thing with 18, literally copy pasted, just slightly worse than 17 in terms of the blast 2s from the footage that we've seen. And her combo strings were slightly worse in T3, so we'll go off that as well. As for base Broly, I think I had him in viable. Double viable around here somewhere. Yeah, I did.
Let me see the picture.
So
you had solid, I think, right?
No, I had him top of viable. I'm looking at it right now.
Oh, okay, my fault. I'm looking at the wrong Broly.
Yeah. Super character, automatic buff. He doesn't have a stun. He has an NPM though. I'm not sure if the NPM, I'm not sure if they consider Broly stronger than Super Saiyan Blue. I don't think they would, but I could honestly see this being a thing, or somewhere around here. But honestly, let me think. I don't know. I would probably. No. He has the ability to transform into Broly. LSSJ. In case you want to play with NPM or max power mode before you want to go to Legendary Super Saiyan or whatever. Although this is a spoiler, I didn't even realize it, but you wonder who I'm gonna put there. But
don't know which.
It's this one. No, but yeah, he has the ability to turn into LSJ or Super Saiyan 1, which has some perks as well. And speaking of LSJ, I'll just talk about Super Saiyan 1 Broly. So Super Saiyan 1 Broly is able to use a stun, I believe, and I had him right around here, I think. But I don't know if I think I probably put him around here actually, because Kaioken plus stun versus just stun. No, I can't see it. I think it has to be like this. Yeah, the ability to stun and the ability to transform into Legendary Super Saiyan is just extremely powerful. That's the reason I put base Broly over the supers, as well as the ability to transform into this version. Although you do lose the ability to use the move after you transform, since it's using blast stocks. So, yeah, this is better. Because, if you're playing as, why would you play as base Broly over Super Saiyan 1 in the first place? And if you are, the blast stocks that you're going to use to transform are going to prevent you from using the perks that Super Saiyan 1 has in the first place. So you might as well just pick Super Saiyan 1 in the first place and not have to deal with all the extra gymnastics.
Fair.
As for Bergamo, I had him below Super Saiyan 1 Broly.
Yep.
I'm not sure if I had him below. Oh, okay, this is kind of awkward because I kind of shifted things, but I would probably say he's right around here or here. Once again, super character. He has a stun. It just comes down to whether or not that Kaioken. I think he's above. I think he has to be above Goku early, honestly. Like, Kaioken is good, but it's not that good to be stronger than a super character. I think it can be stronger than the Z character, sure, but yeah, being a super character is just an inherent advantage you can't get rid of. I'm happy with putting there. As for Birder, I think I had him pretty high, right above Yamcha, I believe, actually. Extremely strong in T3, like I talked about in the other video. He has After Image and Max Power Mode. Same thing as the Yamcha, but I think Fighting Pose might actually be better than NPM. I don't remember the exact details. Let me check here. In terms of T3, I don't remember if it was as fast or what. It's 1.4, Max Power Mode, all stats by 5.5. Let me go back. Or reduce key power stats, whereas Birder... it's slower. Oh no, it's worse. Okay, it's worse than Yamcha's, but he's a stronger character than Yamcha. At least in theory. I don't know if it's if it's Super Yamcha, I could see that being a thing. I don't think Birder has the OP Blast 2 anymore. I think it costs 3 stocks now instead of 2 as well. In T3, his Blast 2 was like 2 flying blue orbs that were really strong, had good tracking, etc. But I think they got nerfed in this game. Not really nerfed. I think they just made the game more clean in terms of the transitions of the moves, and they don't freeze frame and shit. So
yeah,
I think that this is a solid placement for him. I think he's probably gonna end up being stronger than Yamcha. He has good combos. He has flying kicks. Yeah, I'm happy with that. All right, LSJ Broly. Not much to say here. I mean, who would have guessed? He has armor and in his character, like he just starts off in demon mode. This guy's a raid boss. Not much to say there. Gohan, pretty much same spot as he was in the last video. After Image Strike, I came to the conclusion that it's really strong. Max power mode is also really strong. Once again, I think it could be way higher, but not sure how high. That 2 HP bar is just again an inherent disadvantage that you can't dismiss. It's something that you have to take into consideration, especially considering that the game might come down to timeouts and ranked stuff. Because if you're playing DP battle, you're gonna play 5 characters. Let's say it comes down to the last 2 characters and you have Gohan, you lose just because you have 2 HP bars and I have 3. So, you know, even though the character has some good moves and some solid stuff in his kit, you can just lose because of that. 240 seconds, 5v5, it's not really reasonable. So that's where he is. Adult Gohan base, also kind of trash. Very mid, does less damage than the Gokus, doesn't have any unique blast ones. He has full power, but not the real full power. He just has max key in terms of the yellow key bars, not the blue. Doesn't go into sparking. He's just mid. Like, I don't know. Too mid. All right, Beerus, strong character. He has 4 HP bars. I actually was debating with myself and Shonen whether or not the 4 HP bars would be enough to, put him above all of these characters, like around here, as I had him in the other tier list. But honestly, thinking about it and how fast you get Blastox now, I feel like you're going to spam enough explosive waves and after images to be compensating for the lack of an HP bar. And I think that the advantage that you get from using them, after image giving you a combo, explosive wave giving you some slight frame advantage, is enough to make him slightly weaker. He also does have a sleep, though. So honestly, he could be up here, but I'll keep him here for now. Sleep is buffed like I talked about. I do think he has a sleep, right? I'm not tripping. Correct me if I'm wrong.
You have a tab. I can't tab right now.
He doesn't. I don't think he does actually, but he has higher HP and he has a stun for sure. Let me make sure. Verdict of Destruction.
I don't remember what that is.
Is the stun? I don't remember. All right, he has sleep and 4 HP bars. That is enough to put him in strong. I don't. If he has a stun, he might be here. I'm not sure if Verdict of Destruction is a stun or if it's a max power mode. If it's a max power mode, then I mean, honestly, I can still see this being a thing. It's just that not having explosive wave is so L. Or after image, you gotta have one of the other men. After that, it's Super Saiyan 1 Gogeta. I had him. You got him at bottom of strong. Same reasoning. 4 HP bars, but he doesn't really have anything besides that. Super character is gonna do a good amount of damage. Meh. Super Saiyan 1. Same thing, just does more damage. Like, meh. Blue Gogeta, he is up here. He is broken. I think he's broken. He's gonna have 4 HP bars, explosive wave, high damage, solid character. Not solid tier, just really, really solid. He has everything you need. He is the current Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta of this game. Just a character that can do whatever he wants. And he has an explosive wave. I don't think Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta had explosive wave in C3. Let me make sure though. Confirmation. How the fuck do I check this though? Oh, I need to
go to GT Goku.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, he did not. He had wild sense in MPM. So yeah, he's just better, but solid character. He's got everything you need. Also, it looks like his barrier is almost like an Android barrier. I think it might be slightly better than explosive wave. I think someone made a comment right regarding it. Whether it can be used in combos while you're getting hit or something. Yeah, it can definitely be used the same way as explosive wave from the gameplay that I've seen, but I could be wrong. All right, next is Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. This guy was insanely good in T3, but I had him slightly lower in this game for the same reasons as Birder.
No, I was trying to see where you put him.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I had him right here, I think.
Oh, and excellent.
Yeah. Again, strong character. He has the innate buff of being a Super Saiyan, so higher than Vegeta and stuff. He has an MPM. He has an explosive wave. He can be higher depending on whether or not he gets the same perks he has in T3 in terms of his combo strings and in terms of his supers. But considering the multi-hit blast supers got nerfed, as in like Super Explosive Madan, or no, the Energy Barrage wave, that got nerfed. I don't know whether or not it's going to be as good, but Flying Kick's still really good and whatnot. I think he still has that. But yeah, excellent character. I can't really say much more than that. Everything else is just theory crafting. As for Golden Frieza, I believe he has Psychokinesis, so I had him below base Broly, right around here. But I do think he's stronger than base Broly. I mean, it's Psychokinesis, and he's a super character, but he's stronger in the canon than Broly. But I don't know if I would put him... Actually, no, he doesn't have a... Sorry, I misspoke. He doesn't have a stun. He has a max power mode, but he's stronger than base Broly. In terms of whether or not he's stronger than these other guys, I think I had him had him above. Actually, yeah, I had him right around here because in the anime, at least in the mangas or the movies, etc., he's stronger than these two in terms of damage output. And like, once again, the devs like to use that as a reference point for the damage numbers that they use on their combo strings as well as their supers. So based on that, it would be logical to place him here. He has an NPM, same as Vegeta. Again, we talked about the Kaioken stuff and the Goku doing more damage than Vegeta. So yeah, this is a comfortable place to put him. He doesn't have a stun. He doesn't have an AI, explosive wave, AI being after image, etc. All right, next is the drink base form.
The drink.
I think I had him right here. If I'm not wrong. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, he should be around there. He has a stun. He has Solar Flare, and he's a super character. Really that simple. There's not much else to say. That's the drink. Yeah, as for Super Saiyan 1 Gohan, I had him right above Vegeta Scouter around here. He is weaker than the Vegetas. Vegetas tend to do more damage than Gohans in the most cases, and therefore I had him there. He does have an explosive wave, but he does not have the max power mode that his Super Saiyan 2 self has. So yeah, just slightly weaker than the Super Saiyan 1 early Vegeta in terms of damage uplift, at least in T3. I'm assuming it'll be relatively the same in this game. All right, next we have the newer characters. I believe these are all new characters now, right? Oh, wait, Giro. Let me go ahead and do Giro before that, just to make it all new characters, right?
Yes, yeah.
So Giro, I had bottom of viable, I believe. He's an android. That's literally all he has. He has a grab that steals HP, and he can absorb stuff, absorb supers, or absorb ki blasts like the other androids, and he regens ki quicker. That's about it. Doesn't have any unique properties besides that. He doesn't have NPM. He's just here. I don't know. He could be lower. He could be higher, honestly, depending on whether or not being an android is broken in the meta. In terms of boot tanks, I think this character will be really, really strong, actually. I think he is right around here. He has a unique property of being a Boo, which means that once he transforms into Buuhan, he gains HP, I think. Let me confirm, though. I don't know if... I believe this was the case in T3. Let me make sure, though. It fills ki. That's what it is. Which is, it's a good advantage to have. Especially in this game where ki matters. Actually, in T3, it was better to have lower ki. So let me say it that way. In this game, it's the opposite. I think it's better to have more ki.
Yeah, because of the resource management.
Yeah, the resource management and the different interactions where you need ki. And being able to win certain situations with ki versus without. He also has Explosive Wave, I believe. Super Saiyan 1, or Boot Tanks, right? Boot Tanks. Yeah, he has Explosive Wave. He also has a Sleep. So yeah, excellent character. He has all the makings of a character. I think Sleep is better than Max Power Mode in terms of the buff they gave it. I don't think he's quite as strong as the androids. I'm not sure. I could put him here, depending on whether or not a person could argue that the full ki transformation and being able to go into Buuhan is pretty powerful. But I don't really know why you would play as Boot Tanks over Buuhan in the first place. Let me see. Buuhan has... And you could get the Sleep. Yeah, I could see this being like this, actually. This works for me. I'm down for that. But the Android barrier... Oh, it's tough. It's tough. Okay, I'm going to keep it there. I'm going to stop with it. It's too easy to change stuff up there. All right. Next, Super Boo. I had him top of solid, I believe. Reasoning being, he has a stun and a sleep. Sleep is extremely powerful. Just being able to gain HP at any point, being able to transform into Boo Tanks, being able to transform into Buuhan, extremely powerful stuff. Stronger than Goku Red, which seems kind of unbelievable, I'm sure, but he has the same thing, literally. The Vice Shout is a Godbind, has armor, etc., etc. Shenron Aura versus Sleep, I'd choose Sleep. Other than that, not much noticeable differences, same HP bars, etc., etc. So in terms of intrinsic advantages, I would give it slightly over to Super Boo, but I could see this being argued as well, somewhere around here. I could see that being an argument. But for now, we'll keep him there. Buuhan, after image abuser. So he is below Yamcha, above Vegeta. Does more damage than Vegeta, in theory. Just logically, right? I think he did more damage in T3 as well. See here, yeah, it's 7,800 on his Super Kamehameha and whatnot. His combo strings also presumably did more damage. I don't remember off the top of my head, not a calculator, but I think he is going to be more solid than Super Saiyan or Base Vegeta. Both have after images, solid hits. Looks like a good character, honestly, overall. Other than that, not much else to say. He doesn't have a max power mode, so he's in Yamcha's above him. It's kind of funny, but yeah. All right, Kid Buu. This was hard to place because I actually think Kid Buu's gonna be really good, but I had to place him lower just because of the way I prioritize stuff on the tier list. He's actually right here. He doesn't have anything. Like instant transmission's not good. It was really bad in T3. I think it's slightly better in this game. I don't know though. In T3, it was actually a anti-feat to use it, as in you would use it and then they'd be able to flank you because they'd be able to do an X dash, whereas you'd be forced into a sidestep since they don't have vision of you. If that's still the case in this game, you're going to be able to do that spin flank thing that we've seen footage of
Yep.
with the X dash, and that's just why are you even going to use it at that point? But he does sleep. Sleep is good. That's about it though, and his combos look pretty good. Rush attacks again nerfed. His rush attack was really good in T3, but have been nerfed significantly. So I don't know, but I want him to be really good because this was one of my mains at T3, but I don't know right now. He only has that sleep. These other guys have max power mode, stuns, after images, explosive waves. It's just a lot of stuff for poor little Kid Buu to deal with. But yeah, Jace. This guy's interesting. I think he is actually really strong. He does have a max power mode. It's the SP fighting pose, so it is slightly weaker than the max power modes. But he also has explosive wave, so he's practically a Vegeta in terms of just raw on paper stuff. I don't know whether or not they fixed all of his issues from T3 in terms of his combos being kind of clunky and whatnot, but it looks like they've been a little bit better. They look to animate a little better. Did you play him, Shonen, in the demo? You did,
I
right?
do mostly.
I think you did, honestly. I remember you playing him.
Yeah, I think so. I've gone through. I've been through so much footage. It's like hard for me to remember.
Yeah. Did you how did you feel about him, do you think?
Can you pull up a clip real quick?
Let me see if I can find him.
Jog my memory.
1 sec. I feel like you did play him though. I just don't know which video.
You tried the. Oh, is this the interactions video? Yeah, it is.
Does Jace have an interaction?
Remember? Yeah, with Goku, but like I messed up in the recording, so I only put like the intro reaction.
Okay.
But yeah, okay. Jace plays like his moveset's like weird. It's like he's dancing while he's fighting. It's like a really weird.
Yeah, see that's the thing in T3. It was kind of weird to play him. Like he had good moves on paper, but when he actually hopped on him, it kind of didn't work out.
Like they felt like because of how this game whiffs your combos sometimes. Like,
oh yeah,
I feel like he has a high probability of that in the current build that I played.
Yeah, that's the issue with the build, but yeah, it's one of the things like with Trunks and Frieza and Majin Buu as well. Their combos tend to whiff too. If that happens to be the case, then a lot of these characters are just gonna end up shifting downwards if they tend to be consistent. But I'm moving on. I had Super Saiyan 1 Goten. Mid. Doesn't have anything. Same thing as T3. He's pretty bad in that game. He has what? Wild Sense, False Courage. I mean, False Courage could be good. Not enough exploration done yet with that move. But nothing else to speak of. He's a Super Saiyan. Don't know whether or not a Super Saiyan is going to be stronger than the super base character of Goku. But that's where I placed him. I like keeping him there. After that, I had Goten. After Image Abuser. Stronger or weaker than Vegeta. Doesn't have quite the damage numbers, presumably. But he does have After Image. He also has 3 HP bars, which I think he had 2 HP bars in T3. Now, I'm going to confirm this right now because I don't know if I'm just yapping. I'm pretty sure I'm right. Okay, they have 3. I'm pretty sure they have 3. Because, Super Saiyan 1 Trunks doesn't get an HP bar. Pretty sure. And Trunks and Goku probably have the same HP. So, yeah. I do remember them having 2 in one game. I don't know if it was T2 or T3, but that was a big weakness for them. But now they have 3. So, yeah, I actually had Goten higher than Trunks, but Trunks does more damage.
Does base Goten have the unblockable Kamehameha as an ult?
I think so. I don't know though. Let me check. T3 he did, I believe. I think I swear I remember you ulting someone.
Yeah, he has it. I'm just trying to remember if it's on Super Saiyan or if it's on base.
Oh, it might be on Super Saiyan 1. Yeah, it's Super Saiyan 1. It's unblockable. Base is not. It's just blockable, but it doesn't really matter that much. But yeah. Super Saiyan 1 Gotenks has 4 HP bars. That's pretty much the only thing I can say about him. He's right here. Once again, the strong tier is just the HP bar abusers. They don't have a stun, but they're getting carried by their HP bars being OD, but not quite enough to be, explosive wave after image tier. Super Saiyan 1 Trunks. I think he's actually weaker than base Kid Trunks because he has explosive wave instead of after image. I had him above Jace, so just more damage than Jace. But I also think he has an NPM, right? Check and make sure. Yeah, super unyielding spirit. I think it's the same in this game. Maybe bother to check because I already checked before, but yeah. All right, Super Saiyan 1 Vegito. Yo, this character, if he has the same charge key blast as T3, might end up being the best character in the game, but I'm not sure. I don't know. We don't know yet. In T3, that shit did like fucking a bar and a half of damage per hit for some reason. So I don't know if that was a glitch, but it was broken. I'm pretty sure that was. Oh no, that was Super Saiyan 1 Gogeta from Z, not Super Saiyan 1 Vegito. I'm
Oh
getting
yeah,
confused.
yeah.
But yeah, that was insane. You could just run with that shit. Ascend key blast. But yeah, I had him right about there. 4 HP bars. He does have an NPM, I believe, which allowed him to be right about there. Raccoon, 4 HP bars as well. I had him right around here. Reasoning being he has 4 HP bars, and I think he has SP fighting pose as well. I don't recall if he has anything else besides that though. I think he's safety
Raccoon
abuser.
false. He have false courage and
Oh, false courage could also be good. We don't know yet, but I think in theory it could be good. So yeah, pretty good spot for him. Base Teen Gohan is literally just shit. Like I don't. This guy has nothing. I don't know. He doesn't have any good moves. He's wild sense, full power charge. Like congratulations. He does less damage in his adult form. He's just not that good.
congratulations, you played yourself.
Yeah, he's just not that good. Go sit. Super Saiyan 1 Teen Gohan, however, is significantly better because he gets an explosive wave. And more damage, obviously, too, from going Super Saiyan. Doesn't have a max power mode, though. Does do more damage in Super Saiyan 1 Trunks, inherently, as he's a stronger character in Z. All right. Gotenks, base. This is going to be one of my mains, actually. He is broken. Definitely broken. 4 HP bars and after image. That's an insane combo.
Yep,
Super
those
Saiyan Blue.
fusion HP bars, man.
Yeah, they're insane. The blue version of Gogeta does have 4 HP bars, but he has explosive wave. We already talked about after image just being better. Yeah, I mean, this guy's just solid. He has good combo strings too. He's not really lacking anything. His blast 2 seems solid. Just has everything. Literally everything that you could need. He just doesn't have Broly armor. Yo, Imperfect Cell is probably my weirdest placement in this entire tier list, but he's here. After image plus solar flare plus the ability to transform and gain HP. Those 3 things in culmination are just insanity. So if you're getting hit, you after image. If you're in neutral, you can solar flare. And if they're knocked away far enough, you can transform if you're low HP and you go into semi-perfect cell, which also is not that bad. And you can also transform from there to perfect cell. So, his blast docks are always coming to good use. They're always going to be used well. I believe he has flying kicks in his combos as well. C3 he did. Yeah, and blaster wave, which was insanely good. Catches ascend, descend, breaks guard if you charge it, etc. That shit was good as fuck. So yeah, insanely good character. Probably my most controversial placement in terms of cannon strength, etc. Maybe Yamcha's controversial as well, but it is what it is. Anyways, next Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks. I don't know where I had him. I believe he has.
Oh, you had him on strong, right?
Yeah, he's stronger than Super Saiyan 1 Gotenks because he has a stun, I believe. He has Vice Shout, I think. He has Vice Shout.
Yeah.
Let me make sure, though. Yeah, Vice Shout, which is a stun. Same notion as Beerus. Honestly, I could see this being a thing, but Beerus being a super character, give him the benefit of the doubt. This guy just has NPM, max power mode. I'd give the stun over. I'd rather have a character with a stun than a max power mode. After that, SSSJ2 Gohan, slightly stronger than Super Saiyan 1 Teen Gohan. Does more damage, better combo strings, at least in T3, as well as in this game from the footage that we've seen, but doesn't have anything other than that. He does have a max power mode as well, same as Super Saiyan 1. I don't know if he pushes past these guys very much because just his damage numbers in T3 were actually not that high. He also had some weird combo string issues, which might be even more prevalent of a problem if the combo strings dropping in this game actually happen to carry over to the final build. So yeah. Goldo, I had top of lacking. He has the 2 HP bar issue, same with Fidel. He has a stun though. I'd put the stun over the max power mode. These two have the same. After image strike and max power mode. After image strike, max power mode. This guy has fucking, I don't even. Hold on.
He
I think
has
he.
psychonesis or something like that.
Yeah, he has a stun and he has what's his other shit though? Oh, full max power mode. So he has a max power mode and stun. So it's just stun versus max power mode. If you set everything equal, that yeah, pretty much have the same things. Super Perfect Cell, another controversial placement. He is not that good. He's mid. I don't think he's good. His moves are bad. He does not have anything special. It's Perfect Cell was always better than him anyway, but like regular Perfect Cell. Instant transmission's an anti-feat. Wild Sense is an anti-feat. He just has anti-feats for moves. Only good thing he had in T3 is Blaster Wave. Excuse me, and high damage with this combo hits, but we don't even know if that's going to be the case. His Blast 2 did less damage in Goku lane, Goku mid, base, so I don't know. It's a good spot for him, I think. He does more damage than these two, at least in T3, but not quite these. I don't know. One of those characters that doesn't really have anything special. Base Vegito, my boy, second best character in the game.
Nice.
This guy is broken. He has After Image and 4 HP bars, and he's stronger than Gotenks. Simply spoken, that's all you need. Literally, that is the crux of his character, and that's pretty much all you need to know. As for Semi-Perfect Cell, I had him below Goku early, but I think he's going to be around... Actually, yeah, he's probably around here somewhere still. Kaioken gives Goku the slight edge. He has a stun, though. He has a stun, plus he has the ability to transform into Perfect Cell, so he has the ability to gain HP. I'd actually do this. I'm down for that. Kaioken versus the ability to gain HP is pretty negligent. Or negligible. I think his pump up as well. It's but Solar Flare is good. So yeah, Acid Drain Lifestyle is pretty good. I mean, if you hit a heavy finish somehow, or you do some sort of charged attack on them, knock them away, you can combo into it, and they'd have to vanish it, I guess. But yeah, other than that, nothing really crazy about him. Perfect Cell. This guy was broken in T3. And I'm right about here. He has After Image and Explosive Wave, which I actually don't think is going to be as crazy as it was in T3. For example, in T3, if you only had one, you'd use Explosive Wave. If you had two, you'd use After Image. But now they both cost two, so you're just always going to use After Image. But I do see some use case for Explosive Wave in this situation or in certain situations, because, like I said, it beats the Revenge counter. I'm unsure if After Image does as well, but if After Image does as well, then he's basically down a move. Explosive Wave is not going to be that useful. I guess you can use it to block certain special attacks if you don't react to them or don't block them for some weird reason, or maybe you're 1 HP and so you can't block them, so you have the Explosive Wave, something like that. His Blast 2s in T3 were really broken. His Perfect Beam or whatever it was called, I don't know. Barrage Death Beam, that shit was crazy. I don't think it's as broken in this game though. We will see. He has Blaster Wave. Like, does he have it twice? No, he's kicked early and Blaster Wave early, which is like the best combo string you can possibly have. Extremely good character. He's powerful. Not quite as strong as Buhan, just canon lore stuff. I don't know if he's going to have that same broken stuff he has in T3. It could easily be way higher, but it's the same with the Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, etc. But other than that, that's all we have to say. Ginyu's an interesting character. I think Ginyu has that unique niche of being able to trade bodies. I don't know whether or not that's going to be a game changer or anything, but
I was told when you change bodies, like you can't switch, and
okay, that's an anti-feat.
And I think you can't use it's like straight taijutsu. You can't use like their supers or anything.
Oh, that's dead. That is dead. Okay, so there's no cheese there. It does have a max power mode. Self harm is something I don't know whether
he loses he like punctures his heart so that he loses damage. So when you switch, they have less health.
Yeah, but I think you get buffs too. At least you didn't see 3.
Oh yeah, probably. I didn't pay attention to it when I saw people use stuff.
You can probably do some cheese stuff with that and get them to super low HP, but I don't know, man. Yeah, I mean, it only worked with certain characters in T3, right? Now it works with everyone, right?
No, it works with everyone. I mean, I just don't think it works with Grade 8, but that might be it.
Yeah, it worked against Giants in T3 though, but I don't know, maybe not. Next we have Spopovich. I don't really like this character's design. I don't like anything about him. I don't really want to talk about him, but I would put him like right around here. Actually, no, he has 3 HP bars. Nice. He's nothing, literally nothing. It's same as Gohan. Less damage than Gohan though. As for this guy, he has a max power mode, and he does a lot of damage. I mean, he's like around here. He has the not quite as much damage as Majin Vegeta and Super Saiyan 3 Goku, but definitely more than Super Saiyan 2 Goku and Super Saiyan 1. Max power mode and ability to do a decent amount of damage. Good combo strings. That's about it. He's viable. So yeah, that's everyone, right?
That's the list.
It's the list. Let me zoom out. Make sure you can see everyone. Culmination. And yeah, I think that's it.
Let us know what you guys think about this list in the comments if you made this far in this video. Of course, thank you, Dom, for helping me put this together, because I definitely wouldn't have been able to do this myself. So I appreciate that, and your knowledge on Tenkaichi and everything else that comes with it. So we'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.